Hi guys, good morning. Sorry about my little rampage last night, but I meant every word I said. Some of us are really dealing with some people in our lives that are like literally just being big pains in the butts. And feel free if you need to get it off your chest on this channel, it's totally fine. We have the High Priestess in the reverse. Some of you guys are not aware of something that's coming your way. It's going to make you very weak when you find out too. I'm starting to understand the connection. Some of you guys had a whole different idea of why the fuck you were around this person, or what this person's point was for in your life. Some of you guys actually are realizing, probably like I did, that some of the closest people to you have been doing the most damage against you. And although we know that that is a typical situation, we are very still hurt by this matter. And it is what it is, you know what I mean? We're not going to sit here and be able to really say exactly what we're going to do. We know that we don't want to do anything that we can walk away from that or hurt another person. Even though sometimes we do those things and people will probably never believe that we don't want to hurt another person, which you don't. And some of you guys had some conversations with people recently, and you felt as though maybe they didn't respect your hard work. I also heard right now, some of you guys found out that somebody was straight lying. And when you confronted them about it, they just kept lying. And they haven't been honest with you actually yet, still. So, based off of that, you honestly don't really want a whole lot to do with this person. And you're bummed out about it just as much, you know. You're not somebody that cuts ties or breaks relationships off. It takes a lot for you to do something like that. So whatever this person did to you, honestly, was pretty damn horrible if you felt like you had to cut ties with them. I just want to say I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Now, I want to say that both parties involved in this matter honestly feel really sad right now. It's going to take a lot of hard work and extra effort to rebuild this relationship for those of you who want to. I know I do. The people that are involved in this particular matter for me mean the world to me. It's tricky, honestly, trying to figure out how to please everybody around you all at once, especially when you're our kind of person. And I don't mean to like act like our kind of people. If anybody even knows what that means, goes through things worse than other kind of people. But we go through it in a different way. And we go through it in a lonely way. And I don't know how other people go through their stuff. I feel like I go through my stuff alone all the time. And I do feel like I've reached out and talked to different people about different things, and it just didn't really go the way that I felt comfortable again sharing the same stuff with my choice. So everybody just knows, you know, how they've done things or haven't done things yet, and that's the big deal right there. Is just making sure that we've tried every little way to do every little thing, and not being afraid to do it in any way, you know, in every way. And that's what we're going to be doing this month for the next 30 days or so. Because we're going to trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And you do that, you will be able to go and cross things off of your list that you know you've tried and just plain and simply didn't work out for you. And you're not going to be tripping about it. You're just going to say, nope, nope, yep, yep, nope, yep. There's only two answers to choose, yes or no. If you feel like you have to put down a maybe, I never say you can't, because I just heard maybe. Maybe's like, what about me? Try not to do too many maybes, please. It's too much confusion for you. And I just would like it if you would just pretty much just narrow it down. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And we'll go from there. I'll do the same thing. We can come up with 10 at least. And what we're going to do when we do that, let's see, it's 17 after. I got a couple of minutes. I remember every detail of that day in the reverse, and Hermit in the reverse. The detail card, I remember every detail of that day being in the reverse. That's every time that card has come out, it's always coming out in the reverse. So, I feel like if you can't remember the day, then you probably were maybe intoxicated or it didn't happen. One of the two. There shouldn't be a reason why you don't remember the day. Unless you are literally really messed up and under the influence of something, or you literally are being bullshitted and you didn't even commit what the fuck somebody's trying to tell you a full-blown story you did. Which there's both are very, 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 very high chance that either one of those could have been the truth. And if you don't remember what you did and you were under the influence of something, you're not gonna remember. That's the thing. And I never believed that. I hated Zeke for many years, 8 actually, because I didn't drink when I was with him, and he would rage till 3, 4 in the morning. It was horrible. I had to work, and I had to be up for work by 5 a.m. and I was the manager of a school, and I went to teach the juniors, and every day I went in and I acted like nothing was wrong, and I did an outstanding job at it too, because my students would always tell me, and my sister told me too, me and Zeke had a good love, or they wanted love like me and Zeke had. And I was very good at that time at being professional, as you would call it, never complaining out loud about what was going on with me. But I was with Zeke for 7 years, and the only time I remember him ever sobering up was for a 9-month span, and he hated it. He was miserable every day, and he just stared off all the time, thinking about the good old days. His good old days were interesting to me because that consisted of him and his friends who didn't have a car, a house, or any money. They would all meet out in the alley on Altamont, and they would pretty much rob gas stations and beat the shit out of each other to go get Keystone Ice. And they would just drink the cheapest and most nastiest tasting beers ever in an alleyway on Altamont. And I knew that he would daydream about those days. And maybe it wasn't that necessary moment or place or location or event, but that was the gist of it. They were all doing really just dirty stuff, trying to be in a gang, and they were putting each other down and sleeping with each other's people. And they never stopped, actually. And there's a couple of them that got out of where they were at, but I see and hear from several of them often, sounding the same way, and so do their little siblings, And that's the reality of it, is that you gotta just really just look at what the fuck you have in your life right fucking now, and look at it and just be honest with yourself and say, is this truly what the fuck I want? Because I don't think for many of us it really is. So in the last couple minutes, we can go over a couple examples of things that we're going to cross off our list that we've tried that do or don't work, so we don't try them anymore. Go ahead and set yourself up with some little cute dots. You'll get better and better as you do more writing, which I don't think many people do enough of, if any. And we're going to go over a lot of writing together in my classes. So this is what works. Just keep simple, plus sign, and negative for what doesn't. So. Something I know that works for me is meditation. When I do slow yoga or meditation, it clears up my oxygen and airways, and I feel the blood just gets moving really well, and my heartbeat is at a nice pace, and I feel healthy when I do it, and I do feel different when I stretch and when I do yoga or when I do balance or martial art like moves. When I listen to music that has no words, I feel very, 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 very good after I do that. When I work out and I have any music with words, obviously you're very motivated, and you feel like do. You're just ready to kill it. You're ready to get it. It's a different kind of upbeat type of energy. So pay attention to the different types of energies that your body will release, especially during times of music. Try to avoid any songs that have words if you can, for as long as you can, to be honest. I just barely started getting back into songs with words lately. For a few years, though, I actually went into basically educational videos on YouTube. I would look up Law of Attraction, TED Talks, anything that had to do with the human brain and mental health and addiction and anything I personally was going through or dealing with. I looked up personalities, behaviors. I looked up anything and everything, and I ended up learning so much about myself and everybody around me. And I came in for a different purpose than when I left the educational experience. I came out very empathetic and a changed person, truly. I was going in to basically prove, or at least figure out what the fuck my enemies were thinking like and doing, and what they were up to. And I ended up learning so much about my own personality and my own disorders and disabilities and the way that I thought and how that could be corrected or improved. And I'm just really grateful that by the end of it, I felt like I wanted to be better. I felt empathetic towards my enemies. I didn't want to use anything that I learned in a way that was against them, even though sometimes they feel that I do that. But it's hard to even announce anything or even discuss things with people that are unable to ever have conversations with you. And it is very necessary, and it's fair that we speak what the fuck we have to say, regardless of if they want to hear it or if they have anything to say that is nice back. We still deserve to say it. So don't be hard on yourself if you have said something and it offended somebody, or they came back at you yelling. That's very common for those type of people, and that's on them to learn how to be more mature and overcome their communication barriers. So as long as you've said it and you said it kindly and you said it honestly, you're good to go there. Just move forward. it is very difficult to move forward when you would have liked, a better outcome in the conversation. I totally get that. I'm pretty much waiting for everybody almost to, finish the conversations that I've started my own self. That's why I have them now with you guys, because we're not going to sit here and live in torture any longer because other people didn't want to do their part, and we're also not going to get ourselves involved in future things that are going to cause us to give more of ourselves before we understand how to take our power back from anything prior. We need to come in whole and full. And we're learning this. We're learning that every time we spend time with another person, we exchange energy. We understand that it only takes 2 months to create or even break a habit. And these are all things that you now understand a time frame of, and that you have the ability to do, to control, and to program within yourself and your brain. You're understanding the brain is a program just like a computer, and just like we just said, you can program yourself to change anything within yourself. 2 months is all it takes. So you're just starting to actually you're no longer somebody who's like, this is what it is and this is what it is. You're like, actually, that's not what it is. This is actually, in fact, what it is. And you're right. And they don't need to agree that we're right. You just need to understand what the actual discussion relates to, and if you have the knowledge already, to just not listen. You're not here to get involved in the conversations. That's not what you're doing. You're not here to tea time. You're not here to gossip. You're not here to do anything except for pay attention to the conversations, just to make sure that anything that is being said or communicated isn't being misled. You have to pay attention to the people around you and be like, who's involved in these groups of people? Is there anybody out there that wants to learn the correct way that you can guide elsewhere? Things like that. Bed before 10. Let's see, what time is it? I gotta go. Sanitizing, I love it. Makes me feel really good. I do like communicating with you guys, and I do like it within the house. Am I getting very far these days? Not really. I have fucking teens, and I'll tell you, I remember being a really dude. I was a piece of poop to my mom. I even refused to literally smile in any of our family photos that we ever fucking paid to take. And I just think, oh, hell no. Had any of my kids do the shit that I would do to my mom, I would literally be so disappointed in my child for being that way just because. And I'm definitely receiving it back, if not worse. I'm learning a lot as well. So just keep up the good work. There's a couple examples. What doesn't work is, well, we know what doesn't work, for one, is keeping, like, the first thing I heard was saying yes when we really want to say no. This could relate to doing favors for people that you just don't want to do them for anymore. Every time that you already know, you're just to a point where this person has really hurt you and let you down, and they keep asking you for more, and you're like, man, I really just don't, like, that's when you're going to cross off the list. No more saying yes when you mean no. Which one is it, dude? Which one is it for real? That's one of you guys' challenges. When you are being quiet, speak. And those of you who speak, listen. I'm in the listening group. I cannot fucking listen at all. I literally can't stand other people talking. And this is an issue that I have. I also need to start paying more attention. I do need to listen in general, even on its own list. Listen. Oh, listen doesn't work. That's funny. Apparently we're not listening to nobody right now at all. Period. Go away. just be kind and minimal. The less you say and the less you're involved in things, the less everything. Your life is so much better. And you just need to just be smiley and simple and just walk away, walk by. You don't have to look anybody in the eye. Just simply just do your job, move through, and just be kind. And anything you say, just say it short, quick, and fucking, you don't have to stick around. You just say what you need to say and be on your way. It's the simplest way. I'm gonna try to do the same thing myself. I wish they had some kind of piercing that would like it would button my mouth shut or something. You guys seriously need to make an invention that can keep our mouths shut for those of us who talk way too fucking long and much. People can't stand it. So, I appreciate everybody out there that chooses to watch my channel. I love you with all my heart. And if I ever get rich, everybody I'm close to and everybody I know on here by a very special first name, you guys are straight getting paid, motherfuckers read facts, and everybody that was rude to us, we'll see. We'll see.